Hi, I'm Coleen and welcome to my channel. We're going to be starting the Infinity Chain Quilt, which uses the double wedding ring arc. I thought I would give you guys some approximate times of how long things have taken me, like to cut the fabrics and to sew and all of that, since I did do a couple practice ones. So to start out with, I'm going to say this part was I was very fussy, like OCD fussy, on picking fabrics and then stacking the fabrics. I mean, you should have seen me stack these fabrics. Hopefully I fast forward fast enough that you can't see me stack these fabrics, because I stacked them and counted them, then counted them again, then stacked them, then counted them and counted them again. I was trying to keep from getting duplicates next to each other so I could just stack and pull from them, but there was no need for this amount of fussy. I kid you not, this did take me 5 hours. But once I took out the over fussiness I was doing, it took about an hour altogether. And had I started with all pre-cuts, it would have went so fast, even if they were jelly rolls. But you can see I was picking through several fabrics. My friend Dawn over at My Quilt Projects had gifted me some fabrics that work perfect for this, and I really wanted to include them, so it took me a little bit longer to do it this way, and I'm fine with that, but I just wanted you to know, don't freak out when I say it took 5 hours. Because, for real, when I looked at this, it didn't feel like 5 hours, because I would do some, and then I'd do something else. And then I'd sit down and do some more, and then I'd go off and do some. So I just set it up so I could keep going and didn't have to do it all in one whack. And that's how I've done all of my fabric cutting. And when there's dead air, like right here, unless I change something, I have 3 piles of fabric. Beside me, on my table, I have my charm packs that I have tried to shuffle to make them, take them apart so there aren't 2 together and stuff like that. Then on my left, there is a big pile that Dawn had gifted me. On my right, there is another big pile, and it's just a jelly roll that I was using that matched. So I had a little bit of everything going. I had a nest. And I'd put it all on my table when I got up to walk away, and then I'd put it all back. But I took breaks because, I cut in front of my recliner, so I can stop at any time, push my table away, and chill. But I thought that was how much time this takes is what freaks us all out, does it not? And I'm stacking them in tens, which I had to recount like 600 zillion times. I'm not even exaggerating. Literally. I hate it when people misuse the word literally like that. Anyway. I'm going to speed this up some more because this is ridiculous. You guys don't need to watch an hour of me cutting just so I can tell you how long it took. Well, I got this part down to 15 minutes. And I'm breaking it up to cutting the fabrics with this part, with cutting them into the double wedges, which is what I plan on using. At the end, you'll see a little picture of the double wedge and the single wedges with an arc. I might make them with the single wedges at some time and use the Quilt in a Day template for the arc. Maybe next year. My mind is laser focused on this. Yes, I'm aware I'm a dork. If you noticed me fiddling with that Missouri Star hexagon template, I was curious to see how much off that was, because I don't know how nobody has made this double wedge template up until this point. I just don't. It just seems like given, I guess. Make it easier, make it use less fabric, less seams. Although I'm not saying anything against the traditional, because I have a wedge for that too that does pretty much the same thing, except for seam-wise, uses less fabric. At least the way I did it with the Quilt in the Day arc. It uses less fabric compared to that. But it didn't work. I don't know if I said that a second ago or not. I was looking for something that I didn't have to make for a template. I was like, surely somebody has made this for the applique style wedding ring, not the curved piece. Maybe that will be next year's goal. Do a curved piece. Oh my. I think my mind just exploded. Yeah, let's just get through this one first. It's only January 9th, 2025 when I'm doing this. And I waited a couple weeks because I'd already cut my fabrics and I wanted, if anybody wanted to join me and see how I'm progressing every week, I was going to try to put a video up. And I wanted to have us all have a good start with cutting the fabrics ahead of time. And drawing the arcs on that's kind of tedious, drawing the arcs on the pellon, but it's single-sided fusible. That went pretty quick too. And that's going to be another hopefully short clip later, because I want you to know how long these things take. That would be that's always my question, is how long does that take? I have found with a new blade, I can stack them about 5 or 6 fabrics at a time and cut safely without distortion or too much sawing. Like I said, with a new blade. And I asked, my group of friends, how many can you cut at a time? I wish I could do like 10. That would be nice. No, I'm kidding. But just because that was something else I was curious about. So I started with their number, and they said about 5 or 6 with the new blades. So that's what I started out doing. And I did try to do more, and it just, the friction needed to hold it still while I cut. For some reason, I didn't have it, and that may have been a me problem. But I did not cut these one at a time because I am certainly not that kind of crazy. Thank goodness I have friends. I might have tried cutting them one at a time just because I was afraid to cut more. And this just says what I've been telling you. I was really wasting a lot of time by picking through the fabric piles, fussing over the alignment, the counting, and blah, 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 blah. I wasn't sure I was going to do a voiceover, so I wanted to make sure to get that in. And here I'm doing the mouth. It's actually for the double wedding ring, because when I originally cut these, I hadn't put one together yet to see that I didn't care for the arc that I had made. I put these in baggies, and my husband's making fun of the baggies. He says, do you know what type of people have so many little bitty baggies like this around? I'm a nice girl. Of course I don't. Followed with, mind your own business. I am totally teasing about the last part, but he was teasing me about that. Anyway, to help me keep track, I put 100 each in these bags until I got the wedge from, what is his name? Something Monkey. It makes me laugh, but I can't remember the first. I'll get the link in for you guys, because if you want this template 3D printed, I think he's reasonably priced and he has the specs. So And you have to message him though, and I put a little video about that up. You have to message him because I don't think it is just on his Etsy. Yeah, it's not on his Etsy. Plus, it's coming from Texas, so wherever you are at this time, we're having snowstorms, even down in Texas. A friend of mine said they had 7 inches. And did you know they don't have snow plows or salt trucks? Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought they were everywhere. I guess there wouldn't be any need for them down there, but anyway. Okay, let's get back on the topic. Something monkey. What is it? Oh, I'll think of it. And there will be a link. And there will be a link with the templates, the paper templates that I provide, and my math, and, you know, the way I plan on doing it. And keep in mind, I am not a professional pattern writer. I put together what made sense to my mind, and I'm sharing it for free. So, did you see socks? I'm not sure which one those belong to. And if you're doing these cuts with a jelly roll, all you have to do is turn the wedge back and forth. And a jelly roll, since at the widest point this is 4.5 inches, you might have a little less waste with a jelly roll, because I'm using, these are 5 inches, most of them. Now the ones I cut off of the fabric that was gifted to me and off of my jelly rolls, I did cut them at 4.5 inches. And that's why you can see this one is a little bit different size. So saving fabric like that if you got a jelly roll you want to use. I really enjoy the chain piecing these. I bet that was S&S. If you missed my live when my husband was home to troll me, that is Socks and Sandals. That's our new nickname for him, because we are some hilarious people in my live streams. Oh my goodness. Snazzy Monkey. That's what it is. Snazzy Monkey. That's the Etsy shop. The guy with the 3D printer. I'm pretty glad I remembered that. I also remembered that I forgot to add how much Pellon you need for this on my Google Doc. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm not sure I figured that one out. I started to, and then I got obsessed with getting the arc right, and, you know, one thing led to another, and I dropped the ball. So you need about, it's about, I think the arc is 11 inches wide, yeah. And it needs, I think, well, clearly 2.5 inches, but it's on an arc, so so let's say 3 inches per arc, and there's 68 arcs. Let's do that math real quick. 68 times hopefully 3 inches is 204. Divide that by 36 is a yard. So my math right now for that says 5 2/3 yard. So 6 yards of single-sided fusible. I want to say this is a non-woven that I'm using, and I got a very light one. In fact, I ripped the back on one, but it's just to help turn it nicely after you sew them. You're making a tube, and then you go in through one side and pull it out like other tubes. I will show you that, don't worry. I know it doesn't make sense when I say it. Even if you know what I'm talking about right now, you're going, I'm sure that's something I know how to do, but not the way she explains it. I'm sorry. So I still need to figure out the Pellon, but you heard it here first. I need to sit down and do the math and figure out exactly which one it is to use. I mean, you could use any weight that you wanted, I suppose. It's just so we can turn them. What kind of applique is that? Is it turned edge applique? I think that's what it is for this. So, and I love the plastic school boxes, at least that we get here in the US. I don't know if they have anywhere else because, you know, I'm a homebody. The plastic school boxes are perfect for holding all the pieces to this until I'm ready to sew them. And I've put it in a drawer next to my sewing table, so if I get in the mood to sew them, all I have to do is get it out and start sewing. And I've got 3 stacks, plus my corner triangles are in that, so it's very convenient. I like how they're stacked and all of that. Wow, I am slow. Anyway, I think you got the gist of how long it's going to take to do all of these. And if you've got any questions about it for me, feel free to ask. I may not know, but maybe somebody else will know, or I can ask, you know, the very smart friends that I have. See if they can help. And speaking of, their channels are underneath all my videos. Towards the bottom in the details box, just click the, I think it's more, they may have changed it, to see the details, plus everything that I'm using is usually under there. Now these charm packs are probably a couple years old, and I'm not even sure where I got them from now. It could have been Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, her Etsy shop. I know at least one charm pack came from there. That's all I can really tell you. Fat Quarter Shop, Missouri Star. All the normal places. My local shop does not carry those type of pre-cuts, which I really enjoy because, as you can see, you get a scrappy look. And you don't have to buy a whole lot of yardage, and I'm new, and I don't want to buy a whole lot of yardage because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm getting a better idea. I do like buying yardage now. But before I was like, how can I get all of these fabrics to make something look scrappy? Because I love the scrappy look. I'm not good at scrappy. I am getting better. So hang in there if you're not good at scrappy either. My brain wanted to fight that. Oh, something awful. But all the charm packs kind of have the same color ways in them. So they work together really well. Plus, the ones that were gifted to me, they do too. And it's always good when you get something that's already matched for you. At least in my case it is. I said when we moved into our house and we started buying things, and we were very intentional, you know, because you only want to buy it once. You don't want to spend, you know, all your money on stuff. So anyway, we were being very intentional about what went on the walls. It took me forever to find something that went on the wall. 1, because I wanted to make sure I liked it. But 2, because, and I've said this before, I have the decorating sense of a frat boy. No offense to frat boys. Unless it's sold to me in a set, there's very low likelihood I will get it to match. Maybe quilting helps with that. You start looking at colors and, what is it? I'm trying to think of the word. It's not shades and hues, but you know. I stopped my time when I had 200 cut. Now I'm going to show you the single wedge, how it works. with a 5-inch square that I've cut in half. My fingers are always in the way. Very much so. Sorry. I'd forgotten this one was actually before I bought the wedge from Snazzy Monkey on Etsy. So this is the little out of the cutting mat from Dollar Tree template that I made. And I have ordered some from Amazon. I'm hoping they work. They're supposed to be thicker, but I don't know that they'll work. And this is the idea with the wedges and the arc. Now that paper one is mine, and I was messing with a 9-inch one just to, you know, because I am clearly insane. I still have it. It might become a bucket list one of these days. And to find the middle of it, if you want to center them, the larger one works the same way. I don't know why I have this one. I think I was just messing with them to play on them. To play with them. I was very excited about doing this quilt. Yeah, and there's another way to do it. If you want a scrappier look. That's the 9-inch. The 12-inch will fit. I don't know if I eventually put it on there or if I was just not doing it. So there's lots of combinations you could use with the small and the large wedge, the single and the double wedge. Anyway, hope you got some information out of this. If you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a kind comment. You know, we always lead with kindness around here. Have a great day and a great week, great weekend. Be the light you hope to see in others. Take care.